All right, guys, I got a deck coming at you from one of my subscribers that I met on Discord. He's a longtime player. His name is Tangent JB. Shout out to you. He helped me gather some of these cards up for this deck that he come up with. He made the deck, so I'm going to go ahead. It's another budget deck, and it's for newer players. It is geared towards leagues, not casual. So I'm going to go ahead and showcase his deck today. Hopefully I can do it justice and not butcher it too bad here. But we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Oh, that's not the button. We'll go ahead and show it anyway. So I told him we'd showcase this thing. He's titled this deck when I saw it, and he sent it. He called it Shake Pioneers. So I didn't ask him why or what the meaning was behind it, but let's check the deck out. Again, it's a budget deck. His criteria for budget deck is a little different than mine. I typically like to go limited rares and lower. I don't believe he has any limited cards in this deck. Let me double check, but yeah, no limited cards at all. So strictly legendary base cards and lower, or standard cards and lower. So no limited cards at all is his criteria, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did say he doesn't mind using limited commons for budget builds, but this deck specifically did not have any. All right, so this deck is a heavy hitter. It does have, you can see a lot of high energy cards, and it is geared around this card here, which is Fermi Paradox. So you can see it's a 6 mana or 6 energy cost card with 48 power, and when drawn, your cards in hand with 70 or more base power gain 35 power this round. So he's purposely put in several cards that are 70 base power or higher. So let's take a look at some of those. We have Giraffe is one of his inclusions. When returned, if you lost the turn, this card loses 50 power permanently, and if you won the turn, you gain 15 permanently. Let's take a look. We also have this Carnotaurus. When played, lose 1 energy this round, so we want to try to play it later in the round. But really, with leagues, it doesn't matter too much as far as energy goes. We've got Francium, 87 power, and really just start of each turn, it's just losing 22 power permanently. So when we draw it, we want to play it immediately. Plutonium. When drawn, all cards in both players' hand burn 5 until this is returned to your deck. When you play it, your cards adjacent gain 20 power this turn, and once returned, the card opposite loses 5 power permanently. So that's a pretty good card. Let's take a look. What else is over 70? We have Bactrian Camel. When played, if you're trailing by 100 power or more, this card gains 55 power. And when played, if it's the second turn of a round, you also gain another 55 power. So timing's everything on that card. We have Satanic Leaf-Tailed Gecko. When played, this card gains 80 power, and your cards adjacent to this lose 34 this turn. That might be all the heavy hitters that are over 70. Yes, it is. So let's take a look at the rest of the deck. We have Cyclops here. When drawn, your opponent's legendary and mythic cards, wherever they are, lose 12 power until played. So that card is kind of debuffing our opponent, along with Ada Lovelace. When played, your opponent's science cards in hand lose 10 power this turn. This card's been a little better than I expected. I notice at these lower, because I don't play a lot of leagues, which is kind of good for this deck because I'm pretty much in trash, ranked level right now. And I'm playing a lot of Sue Bones decks, I noticed. So this card is pretty good against those, just getting, basically minus 30 every time they play a fistful of science cards. So that's not too terrible. We have Niels Bohr. Your excellent element cards in hand gain plus 25 this turn. So our excellent element cards we have are going to be this Francium and Plutonium here. So those are the excellent elements that combos with that card. This card here, I don't even want to try to pronounce it. I'm just going to butcher it. So when played, your Pioneers of Science cards in hand gain plus 20 this turn. So we have Ada Lovelace, we have Richard Owen, Niels Bohr, and Charles Darwin here. All qualify for that buff. Oh, I did forget Wolverine. When drawn, your Cyclops card in hand gains plus 60. So he combos up here with our Cyclops, making our Cyclops a heavy hitter. Richard Owen, your Paleontology cards in hand gain plus 12 this turn. So he combos good with this card here, along with our Carnotaurus. Let's see what else we have. We have Henry Highland Garnet. When drawn, your cards in hand gain plus 10 this turn. And if you have lost 2 rounds this game, your cards in hand gain plus 20 this turn. So he is buffing our deck for us. Harriet Tubman basically buffs our cards adjacent to it when played by plus 27 power. And we have Charles Darwin. When played, if your deck has 3 or more science cards, which it does, your life on land cards, wherever they are, gain plus 20 for 4 turns. And if your deck has 9 or more science cards, which it does not, so that second part is not going to qualify for us. Our Dragonfly here, when returned, if you won the turn, gain plus 1 energy permanently, and that doesn't really matter much at least in this week's league event. So we don't care that much about the energy gain. We have MLK in the deck, primarily for the buff. Little 20 buff he gives everything. And that's the deck, guys. So let's go take her for a spin and see if I can hopefully do it justice. I don't have a ton of gameplay with it. I've played maybe 4 or 5 games with it. Oh, I'm clicking casual like a ding-dong, so let's don't do that. Let's go back to, we're going to do this one in leagues. Because of the high-cost cards he has in this deck, it's definitely not geared towards casual. I did try it once in casual just to see, but how bad it would do. And I almost won, actually. I made it to round 5. I just wasn't able to play like very many cards. It felt like, I mean, they were high-powered cards, but I'd play like 1 card down, so I wouldn't recommend it. But I figured I wanted to try it anyway. I don't really care. So like to showcase other people's decks. So if you guys have decks and you can, if I'm missing cards, anybody can help me out, trying to get cards to showcase people's decks, it's much appreciated. I have had a couple subscribers helping me out. Shout out to Cozpud, who also has been helping me gather cards for some of these decks in the future that I want to showcase. Let's go ahead and so starting the round here. We have, so Giraffe really wants us to win, so we need to try to maximum power right now, because I do not want to lose with Giraffe and already start down on the minus 50 train with him, because I notice if that happens early, it's very painful for the latter game. So we did get it. So we got that plus 15 on him, which is nice. Again, we don't care much about that Dragonfly trigger. It's not why he's in the deck. So there's our Cyclops. Hits 2 of his cards there. So I do think he... Okay, so no, it doesn't... I was going to say, he did mention you want to hold some of the bigger cards for when you draw Fermi Paradox, but since we already have Fermi, let's go ahead and cycle him now. Get him out of our hand. He did play 2 science cards this turn, so I do want to drop Ada Lovelace and ding both of them there. Looks like we are up against another Sue Bones deck. Seems like almost every game that's what, in this lower level, what I'm up against. And it's not, I mean, I feel like I struggle against it a little bit with this deck, to be honest. So I guess we'll see what happens, but we seem to be doing pretty good so far. All right, we're going to get Cyclops down this turn since Wolverine just buffed him. What else do we want to play now? We might just cycle him at the same time with Wolverine, so we kind of ensure that they're always next to each other. And then we have the MLK triggering, giving everything plus 20. So let's see. This should secure the round, I believe. So he's got all his Sue Bones triggers going off. It's not going to be enough, though. We are going to win round 1 on the back of Tangent's deck here. And again, like I said earlier, this is a budget build, guys, so keep that in mind here as we, play these games. I mean, it's not meant to be a top-tier deck. This is, for guys looking for different types of deck ideas for, budget builds. They don't have all the cards in the game. So let's do it like this and get this buff as well. So dropping 330 on the first turn. That's pretty good. Yeah, for a budget deck, I mean, this thing hits pretty decent. So I've been impressed with it. I think there's a few tweaks I would make personally if it were my deck. But again, I want to showcase somebody else's deck. I'm not going to change anything that they wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and show it like it is and see how it does. So let's get Harriet Tubman down. We want to try to get her buff. What to play with her, though? Let's do it like this. Oh, I probably should have played Camel. Since it was second turn of the round, I would have got his 55 buff. It's kind of a misplay on my part. That's all right, though. We're still holding the lead, it looks like. Good lead here, but plus 200. All right, so we drew Plutonium, so we want to get it down so it doesn't keep burning our cards up. Probably want to get Giraffe. And let's get Dragonfly down as well. See if we can secure this round here. Now I played Plutonium in the middle just so it buffs both my cards. I know if you play it opposite, it does ping one of his cards, but I felt like the plus 40 was a little more important than the minus 5. But just in case, I mean, we were up pretty good. We probably could have done it the other way, but that's okay. You never know. All right, moving into round 3, we got History as the arena. So we drew Francium, so we definitely want to play it now. I don't want it getting too low on me. We're going to save Camel for for the next turn, round 2. I'm sorry, turn 2. Let's get you down. He's only got one science card down right now, so Ada's not hitting as hard as I would like it. So let's go ahead and play this one. Looks like he's got a nice little budget build himself here. Kind of centered around this Bones theme, but some different cards. I haven't seen that Rosa Corsa really played much. So that's interesting. Or Egyptian Blue. I haven't really seen that card much either. All right, there's our Wolverine and our Cyclops triggering together. Looks like our Fermi's going to trigger 2. Only triggered one card, though, unfortunately. So we're going to get our Camel down since it's turn 2. Let's go ahead and play Cyclops with it. And let's do the Ada since he's got 2 science cards down. I hear my kids in the other room there making a ton of noise, just wreaking havoc throughout my living room right now. Probably toys just scattered across the floor and pillows thrown amok. Gonna have to clean, I'm sure. Do have 2 little boys. One's 4 and one's 2. So they are just little terrors, if you can imagine. So let's see here. MLK, Fermi, nothing really combos with either of these. So let's get Wolverine back in. Hopefully we can get it somewhat close to that Cyclops we played last turn. But I don't think it's going to matter. I think we just won the game. So there's the deck. It played really well this first game. Just swept the floor with him. Let's do one more so you guys can see it again in action. Here you see my terrible rank 17 wasp level. All right, let's do one more. We can really show his deck in action. So maybe it won't go as smoothly with the, Cyclops, Wolverine just perfectly next to each other, and let's see what that seemed like we had a really good draw. I don't know if that was just a fluke or if it was the real deal. So let's do one more just in case, guys. I don't want to mislead people. Let's see if it can win 2 in a row. All right, so we drew Francium on the rip, so we definitely want to get him going. You got a little buff there from Fermi as well, which is nice. Let's get that Fermi back cycling. Nice 300 point round, turn 1. Pretty strong. All right, we drew our Henry Garnet. It's buffing everything up for us. Currently kind of sitting on Cyclops, hoping to draw that Wolverine. Let's do it. Do we throw Gecko down here? Let's get Garnet cycling since we're in the lead. Keep buffing our cards up. Looks like we got another Bones deck. So like I said, this low levels, I feel like that's all you see is just Bones decks. I don't know if it's just a good budget deck or something, but seems like all we see. All right, so we saw our Cyclops trigger, so I want to get it down. I'm going to play this now because I want to get this Giraffe trigger. I don't want to lose minus 50. Just want to make sure we get it. So there we go. We got round 1 in the bag. No coming back from that 340 point swing. All right, on to round 2. So let's see here. We got Harriet Tubman. Might play her, maybe with MLK. And third card, I do want to get Wolverine back, just so, again, he's somewhat near that Cyclops. I don't want it too far away from each other. Once we get it next to him, I kind of like to keep him there. Good turn for him. Deck's starting to do a little work. Oh, I hear some crying in there. And some screaming. All right, so we're turn 2. We've got Camel going on, so let's get him down. Sucks because all these cards right here kind of combo with each other, so I hate playing them, but let's do it anyway. We need to catch up. A little bit behind here. Ooh, caught him. It's a good deal there. Looks like we took the lead. We got our Francium, so we need to play him. Oh, my kids are just going nuts in the other room right now. Let's get Ada down. He did play 2 science cards here. And I think I'm going to play Charles Darwin. Start buffing. Looks like we're going to slip this turn here. Probably going to lose this round. 152 behind. Oh, I guess that was the last turn of the round. So, yep, we do lose. All right, on to round 3. We got the Fermi trigger on our Dragonfly. So we're going to play that. Let's get Fermi. Oh, actually, I guess that is for the round, so we can hold off. Kind of want to get these Pioneers of Science down now. Start seeing what else we can get in our hand here. All right, we're down a little bit. There's our Cyclops and our Giraffe. So Cyclops dinged a little bit there. That's nice. Let's get our Giraffe down. 310. I'm hoping that's enough so we don't screw up this Giraffe. Let's do it. Let's kind of holding Cyclops for Wolverine next turn, since we're going to draw it. Oh, we screwed up our Giraffe. That's not good. Should have played Cyclops. So this is one of the bad things about the Giraffe. As you saw, I just lost 50 permanently on it. And we didn't even draw our Wolverine like we wanted. I think we lost this round as well. All right, on to round 4. Let's see if we can start making a comeback here. There's our Wolverine and our Plutonium, so those will all play well together. I'm going to save that Camel for turn 2. All right, looks like we're going to be out to a lead in this round. Nice strong turn for us. See if we can hold the momentum here. We're going to want to play Camel now. All right, we're slipping on this turn a little bit. We're probably going to end up fairly close and close to 0 here. Looks like we're up by 15. Not the best draw when we need it here. Does have 2 science cards down, but I think we're going to need that little bit of an extra kick there. Yeah, it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Nope. So that's the deck, guys. We did lose the second game. Again, seems like all we play against is the Sue Bones deck, but you guys get to see this deck in action, something a little different. So shout out again to Tangent JB for helping create the deck and the content. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.